who should be the quarterback for the team going forward. It doesn't even matter.
You stole my thunder. Does it matter? It's just a horrendous situation. I can't imagine Dan Snyder in August thinking to himself, I'm going to be 3-10 with even less prospects going forward than I had a year ago. And so it's been a disaster on all fronts. I still think you have to play Robert Griffin III a couple times before you finally extinguish all hope. And if you believe Jason Reed, and if you believe many of the reports, there is friction between Jay Gruden not wanting him and management wanting him. So I still believe I can't believe that the NFC Offensive Rookie of the Year 2 years ago is done in this town yet. I can't.
Dan, does it make a difference to anyone who's a Skins fan who the quarterback is the rest of the way?
Sure it does, because there's still this ongoing power play happening. And I mean, I understand what you're saying. I think the logical thing is that you stick it out with RG3, but we've already gone past that point when he benched him last week. I don't think that's a relationship that's going to be salvaged very easily. Yeah. I think the point that Jay Gruden is trying to prove is his offense works. If he has a functional quarterback, he can score, 24 points a game and put his team in a position to win. It worked against Tennessee.
It didn't work last week.
It sort of worked against Dallas. It certainly worked against Indianapolis. It did not at all work last week. But in fairness, you had no Deshaun Jackson in that game. Trent Williams clearly did not seem to be himself.
In fairness, RG3 In fairness,
RG3 played every game with Deshaun Jackson.
RG3 was had played 2 games after a severe injury in the middle of the season.
Yeah, but
I don't know how you really judge Robert Griffin III based off this injury.
You can't judge him off any of this.
Mike, let me ask you. Kirk Cousins actually did move the ball pretty well when he was in there, but he turned the ball over far too often. Among those 3, Cousins, Griffin, and McCoy, does it matter who finishes the season?
It has to be Robert Griffin because he hasn't been given a chance to play this year. I just don't think he has. You can say Jay Gruden, he was hired to coach up Robert Griffin III. He has not in any way tried to do that.
Yeah.
He's not tried to do that, and has not given him a fair shot. All he's done is publicly rip the kid, and at some point you got to see if this guy can play.
Yeah.
You can say all you want about how he can't play, but he gave up on him after 5 games. Can you imagine if Mike Shanahan gave up on Robert Griffin III after 9 games? His first 9 games, he was 3-6. The team looked bad. If he'd given up on him, that 7-game ride that everyone still holds on to, no one would ever remember that. Jay gave him 5 games, barely, and has quit on him.
I'll ask any of you, is he the same quarterback he was, though, as a rookie after those injuries, the knee injury, the concussion?
Know. We know he's not that same athlete, but we don't know what he is. And he hasn't been, there's no time invested in him.
Mike, you had a sigh there.
I almost wish 2012 didn't happen in a weird way, like where it raised these crazy expectations, and it wasn't some wire-to-wire win. It was they had to pull it out by the seat of their pants. They won 7 games at the end. I don't even think that season really told you who our RG3 was. And so we've sort of been in this weird, crazy funhouse of aberrations, winning, losing crazy. There's got to be an 8-8 season where you decide whether he's a good quarterback.